All right, so good morning, guys, and welcome to another day in the Noob Animation Podcast channel. So, today we're going to be speaking about generalists versus specialists, right? So, what I mean by these two phrases are as a 3D as a 3D artist, you can either be a generalist, which means you can model, you can rig, you can texture, you can animate, you can do everything in the production pipeline. And then the specialist is maybe you animate, but you animate very well. Maybe you rig, but you rig very well. Maybe you model, but you model very well. Do you understand? So I'm going to be talking about why each of those jobs matter, and why you should pick one or the other, right? So let's start with generalist, right? So a generalist sounds cool because you can do this, you can do that, you can run simulation, all of that good stuff, right? But then again, I wouldn't really say being a generalist is a good thing, because of basically, yes, you can do a lot of things. You're a man that wears many hats. But then again, if you're a generalist at the beginning of your career, it's a bad thing. If you're a generalist at the end of your career, it's a good thing. Because what I mean by a generalist at the end of your career, that means maybe you did 8 years of animation, did 2 years of modeling, 3 years of rigging. So because of you did it later on, after you have mastered one, is a lot more better because of experience speaks for you in that regard. But then if you're a new 3D artist and then you're a generalist already, it's sort of not good, because of basically you don't know enough about everything that you can do to really be good. So let me give you an example. Let's say you know some animation, you can model, you can do this, and then they put your work against somebody that only spent his time doing animation. His animation will speak volumes above your own, because of that's all he does. So the level of time he has invested in just animation is different from you, that maybe you do animation to on Monday, you do rigging on Tuesday, you do texturing on Wednesday. You understand? Like your timetable is a bit wonky, so you've not really specialized in anything. You're just able to do everything at a mid level. Meanwhile, an animator that spends all of his time animating will be able to do what you do at a professional level, right? So that's my own plight with being a generalist. And it's not like being a generalist is a bad rap, because I started out as a generalist because of, like, we're in Nigeria, and most companies will hire you like if you have two or three skills. You get, they will not just hire like an animator. That's in Nigeria. But then if you're abroad, they only want the best animator to pair him up with the best character artist, to pair them up with the best rigger. Do you understand? Like, abroad is a lot more better, because they want the best at one thing. They don't want you to be good at everything, because they are hiring the best in every department. So they have the best rigger, the best texture artist, the best lighting artist, the best grooming artist. So basically, they have the best of everything. So they just want a team that everybody is the best at one thing, and then that team creates magic. But in Nigeria, they need you to be able to do more things, so they can. So that's the only reason. That's the only way you have value to them. Do you understand? So that's my own plight against being a generalist, right? And then also, if you're talking about doing your own show and stuff, it is much better to have friends, right? Because if you want to say, oh, you can be a generalist because you can do more on your personal project, or this and that. In the end, if you have friends that do different things. So for example, me, as I said, I started out as a generalist, but then I made some friends. So I have a character artist that's my friend. I have an environment artist that's my friend. I have people that do so many other things that are my friends. So it's something that, if I need help on the project that I'm working on, let's say I do the animation, but I need to add some simulation or some lighting or some stuff, I hit up like one of my friends, and I be like, bro, see, I'm doing this thing. Like, can you help me out do this? Sometimes, like, my friends, they don't charge me because I'm such a nice guy, and I bring them jobs. Do you understand? But then again, if you don't have friends that will not charge you, then yeah, like, support them as well, because they're helping you. So if you might not be able to pay their charge, but at least just pay them like something to help you out. You understand? But then if that is the issue and you don't want to pay somebody to do it, then yeah, maybe a generalist. But what I'm saying is, your progression of growth, or the rate at which you would grow, would not be the same as somebody that just specializes in that one field. You get my point. Then also let me go to the specialist side. Being a specialist is amazing because of if there's one thing that you're good at, it is that thing that you specialize in. Because they said you should be a master of one, not not a master of none. Like you can be a jack of all trades, good. But then again, you should be a master of one. That's if they say who is the best animator on this team, they should be able to say that guy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm more of the mindset that being a specialist is good. So for example, now I animate and I rig, right? Because of I work because I have a company with some of my friends. So it's a thing that we need to handle many projects and we need to be able to do some things ourselves. So I do animation and I rig. Which is okay because I can manage those two. Because rigging goes hand in hand with animation. Because in the end, the rigger has to know what the animator wants to do with this character. So hence why I pick those two disciplines, which is something I can manage, right? So as I said, being a specialist is good for me because you don't need to stress your brain and you can work on one thing and be so good at that thing that people can hire you to do that specific thing. Do you understand? But then again, if you want to be a generalist, it's still good. Like there's no right or wrong way to do it. I'm just talking about the pros and cons because if you want to improve well and you want to improve good, then it's best that you master or pick two disciplines and be so good at them that they work hand in hand. So if you do modeling, you can pick modeling and lighting. So that's you can model your environment, your props, and you can light them up in a way that people will look at it and say, "Whoa." If you're a character artist, you can do character creation, texturing. So you can texture your characters to make them stand out, and people will say, "Wow." You can also do character artist and rigging. That's you can do your characters and rig them, and people will see that okay, your character can come to life. You understand? So pick two disciplines if you're trying to master, or pick one two. It doesn't matter because me now I've been in a lot of like webinars. I've been in a lot of like places with professional like animators. Example like Nicole Hare, Steve Morrison, Dave Cunningham, sorry, Stephen Cunningham, and a lot more. And those guys, when they are giving a lecture or like let's say they are teaching, they don't really talk about rigging or like anything else. They really just talk about animation. Like everything they say is just concerning animation because of and these are people that have 20 years, 15 years, 18 years, 25 years in the industry, and that's all that they do. And they are successful at that thing, which is why they keep getting promoted. So if you want to take advice, I'll say take advice from the people that have been doing it for the longest. Do you understand? Because in the end, there are so many jobs in the animation field. So if you can specialize in one or two, you can build out your own niche in that department and work with friends that will help you complement the skills that you don't have. As I said, animation is a collaborative thing, is a team effort. So don't don't try and do everything yourself. Make friends, meet people that have skills that you don't have. Collaborate. If you need to pay them like in like at the end of it all, like it is a collaborative effort. And if you can motivate them and be like, see, I don't have the money, but this will change the world. Let us like do this together. You can use it for your portfolio, like it's work experience for you. Do you understand? Like anything that you can do, just make sure that you work with people because as I said, you can still be a generalist, but I will prefer you be a master of one. Because when you're a master of one, you can invest so much style in that one, so much time in that one thing that you stand out. Not like doing a lot of things and everything that you do will end up being like mediocre because you don't know anything. Because the same way, let's say you can light. If I gave if let's say you lead something and I give that same thing to somebody that is a lighting artist, like that's their job, there will be a world of difference because they know things and they've invested their time in learning just that thing that you now that you can only spend like 2 hours like learning it like once a week would not know. Do you understand my point? So there is an advantage to mastery than an advantage in just knowing a lot of things and not mastering, right? So I would love to go on, but I guess the video has taken longer than expected. See you guys. Peace.